right out of our family's private collection. Can't believe my father's even letting one of his Duesenberg 2s go. But what we've got here is a 1933 Duesenberg 2 Walker Legrand dual cowl Phaeton. One of the most gorgeous cars of all time. Duesenberg 2s were built between 1977 and 2012. Only 66 were built total. That includes the Phaetons, Speedsters, all the body styles. This one here has recently gone through the $45,000 upgrade package, which I'll go over in more detail here in just a minute. But it is so authentic, no one can tell it apart from the 1933 version. What's better about this car is you get in and drive it. We use these cars. My daughter's taking them to car shows. My mother and father have one at their vacation home they both use. I've been in parades. Just before we started filming, the car sat there running for 15 minutes. It's at 180 degrees. Air conditioning is blowing ice cold. It's built on a Ford chassis. It's an extended, customized Ford truck frame, and it's a 351 Ford motor. Take this car to any Ford dealership and have it worked on. We'll get into engine compartment and show you the interior more closely, but again, the point I want to make, you don't need a Duesenberg dealer, all he needs a Ford dealer. Alright, we're going to start up front here, and obviously it's just gorgeous. I don't need to say that. But that grille, it's the same exact grille. A lot of these molds were taken right off original parts. That is the correct size grille. Look at the hood ornament. That's a Duesenberg hood ornament. Correct headlights with glass lenses. They had a heck of a time getting anyone to make them in glass. They could have got them in plastic. It would have been easy. They had to go overseas to get them made in glass. The pilot ray lights is part of the upgrade that we've done. We actually had these made, and my father owns the patent on these. They're connected to the steering system. They actually move as you steer. They're called pilot ray lights. You notice the leather boot we had made covers up the springs. That's something that you won't find on any other, if you can even find it. The bumpers, just like the original. The size of the wheels, all the dimensions are exactly the same as the original car. You don't find some chintzy wheels that they found in a catalog. Those are reproduction of the original wheels. Matter of fact, there's some special tool that goes in there so you can even get them off. You'll see disc brakes hidden back there. 1933, they didn't have disc brakes. This car will actually stop. Now it's got the pipes coming out the sides, got that long hood. Something else we also had made as part of the upgrade package are the chrome covers with the mirror. We had those made. Just recently, literally within the last few days, my father was real excited. He finally got someone to make the side covers. They're metal, and we just installed them on this car. So that's something that you'll get with this car that you won't get anywhere else, period. Now, this is called a dual cowl. Right here is a cowl, and the people in the back seat also have a cowl, which we'll demonstrate that in a minute. But these are the cowl lights, which match the headlights up front. Chrome windshield, wing windows. No door handles. It's a Phaeton. You reach inside to open it up. Wood and stainless running board with the rubber strips. It's just like the original. Oh, look at this rich blue top. Brand new. It had a tan top on it. There wasn't a thing wrong with it, but my father is so obsessive with these cars. He wants them to be the absolute best they can be. So this was done professionally. It's the rich German cloth top. And on the inside, it's actually tan instead of just the back side of the blue. That's a sewn-in headliner. That, again, an added expense. Look at the chrome top bows and the woodwork. It's in impeccable condition. That's a long car. The body ends there. You got the big trunk. And this luggage rack, another addition. You can't find one of these. My dad just told me if one of these popped up for sale for $8,000, he'd buy it. That's a rare piece. Tail lights match the other lights up front. And just like the original Duesenberg, it actually says stop. Sammy, can you hit the brake light? You'd see it better at night, obviously, when it's dark. It's super bright and sunny out right now, but it says stop inside of there. Another item we had made, you won't find anywhere else, the correct exhaust tip. And now I'm going to show you the dash, the front compartment here. Everything is this nice soft white leather, and like I said, he put the correct Wilton carpet, all in blue piping. Even the floor mats he had made, see all the edges, they're all sewn with blue piping on them. This is a Duesenberg dash. It has the machine turned metal, and I don't know if you can see it, but that's beveled glass. It's crystal. I think what you were just showing, that's an actual altimeter gauge. That's what the original Duesenbergs had. Those gauges are authentic. We put the low car shifter. It's a big part of the package I was talking about earlier. It has the floor shifter. When they sold these back in the 80s, it had a Ford steering column with the shifter on the column. That's about a $10,000 or $12,000 steering wheel and column that my dad had casted and made. And then the shifter gets moved to the floor off the column. So again, that is something you will not find on any other one anywhere in the world other than our cars. And then you'll see a stereo, air conditioning controls, and I can tell you the air is ice cold. We just had it on a few minutes ago and felt good. You look up here, you can see the up close the chrome, and the wood is all beautiful. Leather visors. Can you show the mileage there too, Russell? I think it's 6,600 miles. It's actual miles. That's all that's on this car. The drivetrain was new. They bought new Ford drivetrains. It's not used. They didn't pull an engine out of a junkyard. They bought a brand new Ford chassis and then built the car. Hand built these cars on the chassis. The colors are stunning. You'd almost say it's white, but it's actually got just a tint of light blue in there, and I think it's just incredible. We'll do some footage of the car driving. That's when it's like rolling art, when the wheels are sparkling and the chrome glistens. That's when this car is beautiful. Go to any car show with this. If your Lamborghini or your Bugatti isn't flashy enough, this will grab everyone's attention, and everyone respects it. They don't look at you like, well, there's the rich guy in his fancy sports car. People all want to come up and just tell you what a beautiful car that you have. Now in 2012, when the factory shut down that was building these cars, the last one built cost $1.2 million. It was a torpedo sedan, which is now part of our own collection. And the last Phaeton they built cost $650,000. Many wealthy people have bought these, like Edward Hines from the big lumber company. Andy Granatelli ordered 2 of these. He owned 2. So they are for the rich and famous, but you can own one now. We even have financing. They'll do extended terms. We'll finance this car for, I think, 12 years. They don't go down in value. This car is timeless. 1933, the cars were supercharged. That's what these pipes were representing. This is also replicated down to the fine details. That's square wire. They could have used round wire, but square wire sparkles more in the sun. That's why it's square. I'm going to show you the motor compartment. This is Ford exactly. Even the air cleaner. There's nothing modified. There's no Edelbrock or aftermarket parts on here. This is as it left Ford with the factory wiring, air conditioning, air cleaner. So again, simple to work on for someone who knows how to work on a Ford. It's got a big oversized radiator. It keeps the car cool with no problem. It's a 351 motor in there. This car is almost like brand new. Still has some of the ink stamps on the valve cover. I didn't tell you yet, this car only has 6,600 miles on it. This one was built in 1982. It only has 6,600 miles on it since it was built. Underneath the hood, it has the insulation. I'm going to bring you back here and show you how this cowl works. Look inside, it's all leather. I mean soft, nice soft leather. Carpet is also something my dad did, part of the upgrade. If you bought one of these for $250,000 back in 1983, you got big, thick shag carpet. This is the right Wilton carpets that they used in high-end vehicles, including the original Duesenbergs. So my dad had all the carpet, even on the doors, the footrest. He had all that redone, even though there was nothing wrong with the carpet that was in here. Now to get the cowl to open, you just simply fold down the windshield. I have to open the other door. It folds up like so. So it makes it a little easier for getting in and out of there. But the dual cowl, that was like the ultimate car back then. When you're sitting in here, it blocks a lot of the wind. When it's cool, you'll stay warm back here. Throw a lap robe over your legs and you stay nice and cozy on a nice fall day. Now in the summertime, my dad actually drives with the air conditioning on. The cool air blowing on you blows out strong. It keeps you cool. And there is vents even in the back for air conditioning and heat. And right above that is an interior light that you can see is working. And Russell, show the sill plates too that are polished with the Duesenberg logo. Open up the trunk. It does have side curtains you can put on the car. He did have the boot made to match the top, also with the, not you won't call it a headliner, but a liner on the inside. There is some storage room in here. I think in here he has some extra keys. Some stationery with this car on it. The original owner's manual for the Ford truck that it's sitting on. Extra keys. The leather tag. Remote for the stereo. Something else I didn't tell you. My father is the leading expert of these Duesenberg 2s. He actually bought out the office. He has all of their paperwork. He can tell you who bought what car new and what it cost and what features it has. He bought out the remainder of their parts. He is the authority, has been for decades. We were actually a dealer for these back in the 80s. These cars sold for $250,000 back in the early 80s. That's a ton of money. This car here was ordered by Melvin Olshansky. He's a big-time collector. He had a multi-million-dollar collection. He was a good friend and customer of ours. But he bought this car brand new. He ordered it and had to wait for it. There's also a power antenna hidden right here when you turn the stereo on. That's where you'll get your reception from. Let's come around and look at the dash. I just mentioned the wealthy, famous people have owned a few of these. If you've seen the latest Great Gatsby movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, he drove a yellow one. That was our car. We actually supplied 2 cars to the movie. We're desperately trying to buy it back. The producer of the movie won't sell the car. He loves it. He's keeping the yellow one. I also want you to know this is not considered a replica. This is a real Duesenberg. They own the Duesenberg Motors name. It's a trademark name. I also want you to know there will never be another one built. The last few they tried just cost way too much money. The regulations that have to be met are just going to prohibit it from ever being built again. So what's on the planet right now is all that there's ever going to be. They made 69 total around the world. That's it. That's all that was ever made. We are open to trades. If you have some muscle cars or collector cars to trade in, please do call me. I am open to that. I also want you to know this is not considered a replica. This is a real Duesenberg. They own the Duesenberg Motors name. It's a trademark name. I also want you to know there will never be another one built. The last few they tried just cost way too much money. The regulations that have to be met are just going to prohibit it from ever being built again. So what's on the planet right now is all that there's ever going to be. They made 69 total around the world. That's it. That's all that was ever made. We are open to trades. If you have some muscle cars or collector cars to trade in, please do call me. I am open to that.